It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Tuesday show, July 16th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, we say hello to you. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Tell a friend about us as well. 66,000 subscribers on this platform. Braylon out today. He'll be back tomorrow. In his stead, we have bumped him up to the big kids table. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
You know I like the little kids table.
I know, and in fact, Stick, say hello.
Hello, Stick.
So we've got.
So I'm at the kids table. What is this? What is this?
So Stick,
It's a setup.
You get to watch TV while you eat at the kids table.
Listen, so Stick is, doing some work at Woodward Sports today. He's doing all the other responsibilities. So before the show, Maz says, "Hey, you want to come do the show with us a little bit?" He's like, "I got a couple of minutes. I can hang with you for a little while." So in honor of continuity of the show,
Yeah.
I didn't want you to start there
I got you.
and then come up.
All right,
I wanted you to just sit there. So that way, Stick, when he's got to go back to work.
I'm here.
I love the air quotes.
Well, I'm saying like this isn't work, right? Like,
No.
anything
It's
that
a
happens,
privilege.
you're right. Anything that happens in this room is not work. Anything that happens outside those doors, that's work.
Yes, it is work, and but we love it, right?
Absolutely.
Find what you love and make it your job.
Absolutely,
Hey,
Tom.
I'm rocking the 05 All Star jersey from Comerica Park today. Yes, it is 19 years old. And yes.
Still is good.
Whose is that? Is that
Pudge.
Hickinson?
It's Pudge.
It's
yeah.
Pudge?
Yeah.
It's Pudge. You got the Comerica on here.
No grease
And on this
stains.
side, you got the old
Looking good.
non-favorite Tigers logo. And that was a great day. It was like 120 degrees. There were so many drunks at that home run derby and All-Star game.
That was the
I
Brandon
couldn't
Inge
even
home
tell
run
you.
derby, right?
No, that was the Bobby Abreu home run derby.
Yeah, I know, but Brandon Inge was in it.
No, he was not in that.
When Brandon Inge hit 0
Remember
home
when he had
runs?
0? Yeah.
That was later.
funny.
That was in the bad Tigers
Oh,
era.
my gosh.
That was in the bad Tigers era.
Hey,
So-
before we get into the home run derby, I do want to talk about yesterday. What a great day yesterday at
Yeah.
the Detroit Golf Club at Calvin Johnson Jr.'s.
That's as much fun I've ever had at a golf course.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the most fun times that I've had at a remote as well. I mean, Detroit Golf Club treated us fantastically. Calvin Johnson, what can you say about this guy and his family and everybody associated with Calvin yesterday at the golf tournament was fantastic. And you were a big part of that, Stick.
You know what yesterday was? It's a reminder of what we were just discussing, that this is a privilege, right? This isn't work.
Right.
As I go home yesterday and I tell my fiance, I was like, she was like, "How was your day?" I was like, "Well, I got to meet Randy Moss.
Yeah.
I got to meet Calvin Johnson.
She's like,
I got to
"Who?"
meet Herman Moore.
Right.
Ty Mopkins
my
was
wife.
there.
Yeah.
One of the great Detroit legends.
Clothiers.
Jalen Rose walks up
Yeah.
and daps us up for being Woodward Sports, and it's just one of those days where it's like, my
Gibby?
God, Gibby was there, and we have it here with D-Mac and Braylon. Like, if you would have told younger me when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, like, hey, eventually you and D-Mac are going to play rounds of golf together.
Say that
like,
same thing,
you
man.
and Braylon are going to be, like, when he was catching 4 touchdowns against Michigan State in overtime, if you would have told me, hey, you and Braylon are going to be friends, it's a dream to have this job, and yesterday was a reminder of it.
I say that same thing, man. It is
You
something.
told me yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Justin, who's a part of this network and does a lot of the work on the other shows, right? I mean, he came in here and I was talking to him before the show, and he was like a kid in a candy store. For a lot of the newer guys in the business, to be around guys like Calvin Johnson and Lomas Brown and Herman Moore and Randy Moss and these guys.
Charles Haley.
And Charles Haley. And for
Right.
us,
Torrey
even
Holt.
yesterday, Maz, I mean, how about seeing Kenny Mayne?
I
Right.
know,
One of the
Kenny
one of the
Mayne.
great
Broadcast
sports center
legends.
anchors of all time is intern Joel is like, who in the hell is Kenny Mayne?
Well, listen, I come from a top 40 radio background,
Right.
right? And I've interviewed pretty much every artist that you can name, from Jay-Z to whoever, Beyonce, and everybody in between, Taylor Swift and all that. I never gave a damn about interviewing artists.
Right.
I get I still become a kid when I meet my childhood
But
sports
the media
heroes.
guys.
Yeah. But honestly, like if I ever ran into Craig Kilborn and those guys, because I grew up every day watching sports. Or Craig Kilborn, Kenny Mayne, like those were the golden age to me, and those are the guys I still look up to. Like if I ever met Bo Jackson, I think I'd cry.
Right.
I said yesterday was like going to Hollywood for me, because I'll take seeing athletes and broadcasters over seeing George Clooney and Julia Roberts any day of the week.
Yeah,
so,
it's so funny. And
it's great.
Look, and I know these are older guys too, like, Herman Moore and Lomas Brown and, even Calvin Johnson is one of the older guys now. Yeah. Kirk Gibson, but to see how they react to Maz, that is one of the great joys of my day yesterday.
Well, this
guy is loved.
They grew up listening to Maz.
Exactly. That's how long he's been around.
Right.
He snuck up behind us, and he must have heard us talking about him.
Talk into the microphone.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
Is it not plugged in?
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
I have mic etiquette, man.
I've been on the air for 200 years, still figuring out the microphone.
Anyway. Okay, let me talk into Mike.
There you go.
So we were talking about the Tigers. I guess Gibby must have heard us talking, and I brought up his name. I'm like, Gibby basically called the Colt Keith home run on Saturday prior to it happening. He comes from the back of us. He tackles me. Before you know it, he hops on the chair, and we start chatting with him. It's great to have these icons here. When he pulls up here to go to Lady Jane's, it's always great to see him. We got people coming in and out, man.
Did you ever tell the story of the other day when he pulled up? Tell the story real quick for the people. By the way, let me introduce for you as well the great KG over here as well. KG, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you as well.
Pete Spivak, James, Joel. How's everybody doing today? Very good. Very good. All
So
right.
I was leaving work the other day, and I'm out front. I'm going up the street, up towards Maple. I'm walking, and here comes Kirk Gibson beeping the horn at me. He's got his truck, and he wants to come in here and get a haircut. And, he's not – it's hard for him to get around. So he parks in the handicap spot. Well, there was a guy in the handicap spot with his blinkers on. So he's like, MF and blah, blah, blah. Look at this. I'm like, I'll go find that guy for you. So I went down the block. I'm like, he's got to be in the bank, right? So I walk into the bank, and I yell out politely, hey, can the non-handicapped person please leave the handicap spot so a person that actually needs the spot can do it? And the guy was up at the window, and he just was he flustered. He wound up leaving his business, and all right, I'm sorry. He ran out, moved the car. Gibby went in, and
well, good to that guy for doing the right thing after doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
How about Maz? Gibby? I got you.
Maz went back to his bouncer days. Yeah. Hey, don't make me remove you from the bank, sir.
This guy could have bounced me. Put it this way.
Don't let the fancy pullovers and gray hair fool you. I mean, that guy's still in that. Bouncer Maz is still in there, KG.
So,
how was the day yesterday for you, KG?
It was amazing, man.
How many pictures did you take?
Oh, a lot, man. I had to, man. I've met Calvin before, but just every other sports legend that was there. Like you said, Gibby, Randy Moss. I heard Darren McFadden was there. Didn't even get a chance to see him. Man, just so many, man.
Was T.O. there?
No, Torrey Holt was, though.
Torrey Holt.
Yeah,
okay.
Torrey Holt, another legend,
show
man.
on turf, baby.
Yeah, man, another legend. So I'm just blessed. I'm honored, man, to be doing this for a living, getting paid to be around sports legends and talk a little bit on the mic, be with y'all. So, yeah, man, it was great.
And, another random guy that was there yesterday, and you wonder what the affiliation was, and maybe it's just a Georgia thing. I know Calvin went to Georgia Tech, but this guy went to Georgia, and that's David Pollack.
Oh, yeah.
Long-time ESPN College Game Day
good.
host, very good. He was part of the big cutbacks.
He got bumped because of McAfee.
He did.
Isn't he back on doing something?
I don't know what he's doing, David Pollack, but he was there yesterday, just random celebrity, even like Darren McFadden. I'm sorry, but that's pretty random for me to see Darren McFadden.
Great running back.
Right?
Kay Adams was there.
Kay Adams
was the talk of the heavyweights show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame them.
Got a nice picture with Kay Adams.
Yeah.
Shout out Kay.
Well, no thanks to you, Kenny.
Oh, I'm sorry,
You
man.
kind of ruined Easy. I'm trying to find a picture.
Oh, Easy.
Kenny?
Did you see the picture he took of Easy and
Yeah,
Calvin?
No,
You haven't.
I didn't
Cut
see it.
Calvin's head out.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, God.
I didn't see it.
I want you to.
It's in the Slack,
gonna
man.
find it.
It's in the morning show Slack.
Is
Wake
it?
up with
Okay.
the
No
Slack.
kidding.
Oh, my
I want you
God.
to have Ermanni's face when he
Did you
sees
see
it, too.
Kay Adams' interview with Randy Moss about
We haven't have it on
Monte.
here.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about that later in the show too.
So
but,
good, man. Such a good
she was-
time.
Absolutely. So plenty doing. I cannot wait to see this picture. If
Hang
that's
on, I'll
exactly what.
It's a
Now,
beauty.
did he get a good one ultimately too? Did you get a good
It
one
would have been a-
ultimately or no?
Yeah, oh yeah, with Kay Adams, yeah, but not the Calvin picture.
Oh my gosh.
I thought
Did you do it on purpose?
No, so
He was Russian.
I swear both faces
Oh,
were
Russian.
in the
Hang on.
frame.
American.
I swear on everything,
up?
both faces were in the frame. I don't know what happened during the exchange or when he got it, but it was crazy, man.
That's why you're in the audio booth and not in the visual booth.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's why you talk on the microphone and not take the pictures.
It's crazy.
If we get that, we'll get that
Yeah,
up.
we'll get it. Hang on.
It's
Sorry.
on Easy's Twitter.
No.
I think it's in
mean-
our chat. Let's see. Find it
I
in the
mean,
chat.
I'm sorry, Easy.
Pete's,
I'm trying to find it. Hang on,
Oh
guys.
no. Okay, so I understand. Pete says, "I got it. I'll get it." I'm thinking that's like right now. He hasn't even found it. Okay.
I got it.
Okay, very good.
He's saying I got it again. What does that
know.
mean?
I mean,
what does
Pete-
that mean?
All right.
Pete
Here you
talks
go.
me
You
through
ready?
step by
Here,
step.
here's
Get it together, Pete.
this is a great photo.
Okay.
I need to get it.
My God.
I need to get it together too.
That
This is crazy.
is classic.
I swear, man. I don't know how
Smile.
this happened. I don't know how this happened.
That is classic.
I thought
what
Easy
did
cropped it, joking. But no, that's the real picture.
What did Easy say?
Easy was going on. He talked about it on heavyweights, man. Like
That's going in a scrapbook.
I
man.
did him dirty, man.
That's what
Oh
Easy
my
gets for
God.
being 5'3", though.
Yeah, man. Like
Let's be honest.
At least I know now who I will never ask to take a picture, and that is this guy over here.
the funniest
The
part
great
is
KG.
the picture I got with Megatron was very crystal clear, and he took that picture, and that was my return.
We got to
man.
put that on a
It's crazy,
T-shirt.
man.
T-shirt.
That's the best T-shirt.
It's so funny. Yeah, what a great day it was yesterday, and how many people know Woodward Sports? Like all those guys, and it is the digital footprint that we have.
It's
It
wild.
is, for a lot of old timers, I was experienced people. Maz, even for a guy like me that's 45 years old, when I started 3 years ago, it sounded like a fun thing to do. And I really wasn't sure where it would go. I really wasn't sure how it would resonate or anything like that. But we said, I'll give it a try. And I will tell you, if you are over the age of 45, you know me from Fox 2. If you are under the age of 45, you know me from this. And
Yeah.
that is an incredible kind of thing for me to experience.
No
And
doubt.
all of the players, too, that are on social media that see our stuff, it is incredible. Like, you could be listening to a 4-hour radio show and one player will never hear one thing they say.
Right.
This is just a completely different medium we're on, and the recognition by those that play the game, second to none, man.
Well,
Pete, how old was that kid the other day at the Tiger game that stopped me?
Oh, probably like 15. Probably the most 15 years old.
Maz! And I figured, oh, here
No,
comes
this guy was
another.
like, "Oh, Maz,
a young kid.
Right.
I love you
Wow.
on Woodward, man. Your takes are great. And I said, hey, Pete. He said, hey, Pete, man. Love you guys.
Look at Pete getting love.
It's so cool. And my daughter's friends, they all know me because of that, because of TikTok, because of
wild,
Instagram,
man.
because of they're not as much on Twitter, but they're all over Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah,
and we're all over that.
And it's not even like just here locally. Like, Kool-Aid's in Vegas right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's covering the summer league, and he was able to run into Ron Holland out there, and he sent a thing to the morning show chat like, "Hey, I ran into Ron Holland." I was like, "Oh yeah, did you show him Flannel Sam's reaction draft night?" Because he was giving the double birds and like all upset, and he's like, "I didn't have to show it to him; he already knew."
Right.
And it's stuff like that, man. It's just
And
like,
that's something.
yeah. So it also is like we better be more responsible
Right.
about some things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, nothing goes unseen.
You're right.
Receipts, man.
Exactly. And we're going to have Kool-Aid tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to have Kool-Aid tomorrow, and we'll catch up with him about the Detroit Pistons. They've played one game yesterday. They play another game today. I believe it's 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Did you see
Rockets
what's the
yesterday.
latest video of who was on? Jaylen Brown was at Vegas
Oh,
watching.
my God,
and he
I did see
he
it.
said something to he has a girlfriend that plays the WNBA. Angel Reese was there with him, and I think he said something.
No, this is what he said. Bronny's not a pro.
Bronny's not a pro. And they of course.
And then he issued a tweet apology.
Yeah. But he didn't say I didn't say it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't say I didn't say it.
Now, remember what we said about last week? Why he is not on Team USA. There's a reason that he's not on Team USA. And we say it's Nike. Who's the king of Nike right now?
Here go Maz.
LeBron James.
Here go
The king of
I'm just
China.
saying.
You're right. The king of China,
I'm just
LeBron
telling
James.
You could take that fuse, and the fuse ends at LeBron James.
Modern day
God.
Jordan Isaiah
He
situation.
isn't Nike. He's a subsidiary of Nike.
Okay.
But I'm more in line with KG on this, Maz,
That's
and I'll
fine.
tell you why. Because we go back. Remember the whole Nike China thing.
Yeah, of course.
China.
Who's the one guy that would not say anything about Nike? Because even LeBron was a little bit fearful of the retribution that he would have from Nike. So he kept his mouth shut. So I think that is proof that, yes, he is the king.
Yeah.
But he is not.
He's also a servant.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan is at the pinnacle.
Right.
Michael Jordan, then there's Phil Knight next to him. And then it goes down to LeBron.
Michael Jordan
would
isn't
be the
even
next
Nike.
step.
He's Jumpman.
Right.
Like he's his own division of Nike.
Yeah. But nonetheless.
He's Jumpman.
Right.
Right.
what
And
it's
I do wish, and just a point about that, if you're Jaylen Brown, and actually the first thing that I thought of was if you're Angel Reese.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, if you're sitting there and Angel Reese is she is making a name for herself. However you feel about Angel Reese, she is making a name for herself, and she is being catapulted as one of the great WNBA players to help carry this league. Do you want to be associated with Jaylen Brown, or do you want to be associated with LeBron James?
She wants to just be associated.
I mean,
that girl's
She's a third
vulture.
wheel. She's a third wheel
I
there.
understand
Yeah,
she's a third wheel.
She's
Again, I understand she was a third wheel and she was on her phone and not paying attention to the conversation. But the video you see is I see her and I'm like thinking to myself, man, I would not want anybody to catch me on camera not pushing back on anything about LeBron James
she
or
should have
Bronny
snapped
James.
on him. Like, don't say that about Bronny. Like,
You know, I mean,
By the way, speaking
not a
of,
good
well,
look.
it takes it away, but Joe Jellybean Bryant passed away today.
I did see that.
Father of Kobe Bryant. I mean, former 76ers.
69 years old only,
Young
too.
man. Young man.
Yeah.
Rest
It
in
is,
peace, Jellybean. I got to watch him play back in the day.
Condolences.
Well, that took a turn.
that's a
Yeah,
crazy
thanks,
transition.
man.
Get it together,
Yeah,
man.
keep it in the whole basketball.
Did you ever used to watch?
No, I understand.
Did you ever
I
used to watch Talk Soup with Joel McHale?
I love that.
And they would do
Absolutely.
the Danzitions with Tony Danza when he had a show, and he would be like, "Yeah, sad death today."
That was a great
Ukulele
show.
update.
Hey, that was a
Right.
great show,
Ryan,
Talk
here's your
Soup.
video.
Yeah.
Talk
Oh
Soup
yeah,
was good.
here it is. So Jaylen Brown, he says Bronny's not a pro, and then he shakes his hand. And so there's Angel Reese, and like I'm just I would want to be cropped out of that video.
It's a
is
bad
what I'm
look.
saying.
It's just so crazy. We're at a point in society where you're sitting on the sidelines,
Yes.
you're having a private conversation, you're in public, but having a private conversation. We don't have audio to that. We're all assuming the lip reading.
No, he says it and he admits it by saying.
But we don't have audio. We're just reading his lips.
You clearly see it.
What's he admit
You
to
clearly
saying?
see it. You don't hear it.
No,
But it's just, we're going off a lip reading. Like you can't lip read.
He apologized.
He did.
And he did not say that's not what I said or
Right.
that's not what I meant. He said LeBron is an OG for having his kid on the team.
But are we at the point where people got to start having those conversations like this on the sidelines?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
why
Hey, I'm
people
talking-
coaches.
Right. It's the mafia.
Hey, how are you, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
LeBron's
yeah,
kid
yeah.
sucks. He only got
Yeah.
drafted because it's LeBron's kid.
And to be honest with you, I am totally over the Bronny James talk. I feel bad for Bronny, and I'm far be it from me to be in a position to stick up for Bronny James or anything like that. Look who his dad is. Look how he grew up. But the amount of pressure that's on Bronny James, what Bronny James is doing is no different at all than Arnie Kander's kid being a scout for the Pistons.
Yes, it is.
It's not different.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
I will argue
different.
this with you all
It
day.
is
Oh,
not
my
different from
God.
the owner of the gas station.
Yes, it is.
Having his kid take over
Yes, it
the
is.
gas station.
Yes, it
It
is.
is not.
Yes, it is. You need a skill set to play in the NBA. You don't need a skill set to run a gas station, right? Any of us can be trained to run a gas station
I don't know
if
about
we're trained
that.
properly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm offending gas station owners
Yeah.
of the world.
We're sorry, gas
but
station owners.
NBA is strictly skill based. Are you fast enough? Can you jump high enough? Are you those things are all what goes into it. I can teach anybody how to run any clerical thing,
let's
how to push papers.
Wait a minute
Anybody
for a minute.
can do that.
Okay, for a minute, I disagree with you, and we're not going to agree on that. We're just not. So it's almost.
So you don't think you have the capability to run a speedway?
I do.
Okay,
I
you don't think
to be honest
KG
with you,
does?
I don't know if I do. To be honest with you, I don't know if I do. I think I could probably learn it.
Right.
But I think it's a lot more
But that's what I'm saying.
complex
That's
than
a
you think
learned
it is.
trait.
Yes.
Basketball is more of a skill.
Let me go one step further. You either have the eye or you don't. I don't think you can learn how to be a scout, how to be a director of pro scouting. I mean, I think you have a skill set that can be refined and you can learn it, or you don't have it.
But the pool is much bigger of people who can identify skill
Not
than
Arnie
people
Kander.
who actually have.
Arnie Kander was the
Right. Was the
Arnie
trainer.
Kander was the condition.
I'm talking about
Back in
Arn
the
Tellem.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm only using Arn Tellem because it's an example off the court in the NBA. And I'm not saying that
You'd have a better
Kander,
luck. You'd have
Arn
better
Tellem's
luck
kid-
selling me on the Illich situation.
Okay,
Like just because you're Mike Illich doesn't mean your son can run the team.
I mean, I just don't see the difference.
Because, like I said, it's a learned skill. I can learn any.
You can learn how to be an NBA
You
scout.
can go to college and learn how to become a doctor. You aren't just born with doctor abilities,
But
right?
you have to go to college and learn it.
Exactly. So that's what anybody can learn how to run a clerical business. You go to business college to run a business.
Okay, I'm not talking about being a business owner. Let's just take the NBA specifically. Arn Tellem, his kid works for the Pistons, and I believe in the scouting department.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Arn Tellem hiring his kid or LeBron James essentially hiring his kid?
Nepotism is nepotism, and we can agree with that, right? But to me, the NBA is such a skill-based thing where only a minor percentage of all humans can even
Same
think
in the
of
scouting
playing.
department, working in a front office of an organization in a professional sports league where there's 30 teams?
Yeah, but they're all different types of people, right? Like anybody can become a scout. I can become a scout. Maz can become a scout.
Rental.
Huh?
Brad Holmes worked at Enterprise Car Rental.
Right.
And now he became a
best
scout,
GM.
and now he's the best GM in football. It can happen, is what he's saying.
That's what I'm
LeBron James Jr. is a player that does not belong to have a 2-year guaranteed contract at number 55. Personally, I don't care anymore. I'm over it.
Now, he gets hired
I'm
in the
done.
front office. Sure, Bronny knows basketball. He can learn how to be a GM. I'm okay with it. But it's showing.
So let me ask you something. And I had no idea we were going to talk about this. I'm just genuinely curious here. If they can learn how to be a scout on the job, why can't Bronny James learn how to become a good 3-point shooter, or learn how to become a good defender, or learn how to become a good passer? I mean,
because if that was possible, I'd be an NBA player. Because that's my dream. I don't have the skill set for it, so I'm not in the NBA. But actually, Tomey would be a great guy to ask about this because he played professional ball.
Baseball.
Can you learn to be a professional ball player?
But you've got to have
you can't. You have the skills or you don't.
You've got to have the skill set from somewhere first.
The kid's a good player. He's just not a player that teams had to fight over to sign. He would not have been signed had it not been for his father.
Right.
Of course. I'm not saying
but he's a good ball player.
We agree on that. But Arn Tellem's son wouldn't be the scout for the Pistons if Arn Tellem didn't hire him either.
Yes.
There's opportunities given in life, and I'm not saying that Bronny, it's bad. I love it. Thank God this is how it works.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of the Bronny James hate, is what I'm saying, because this kid didn't do anything to deserve it.
Creates hate no matter what the industry is. That's just part of it.
I get that part of it. But
and that's the bottom line.
Laughing at every air ball.
But that's the thing, because everybody knows he's not supposed to be there. It's like I got drafted.
He was put in our face. Now he has to. He signed the contract. This is what he signed for. Now he's got to put up with it.
Well, I got to put up with you, so what's it?
Right.
What's the difference?
But honestly, LeBron did what every good father should do, right? Use
course.
every advantage you have to propel your son to get every advantage in life. Unfortunately, his son's on display in front of millions of people and doesn't have the skill set to belong.
And you know what? If he doesn't make it in the NBA, he can come play for the Big Three here in Detroit. Because that's right, the
What a
Big
transition.
Three
Maybe
is
Anthony
coming
will
to
sign him.
Detroit.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Tomey is going to join us next. He's part of the ownership group for the new Detroit Big Three team. We'll tell you all about that coming up next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great prices that customers have come to know and trust. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All 4 GM brands now under one umbrella. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive on over to Premier Pet Supply. Hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, curbside delivery, and nutritionists on call if you have any questions about your pet. Give your pet the best. Don't settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Fitness that fits your budget no matter where you are. There is a Planet Fitness close by to you. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands throughout the world. Everybody done been to a Planet Fitness at this point, man. You can't miss it. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly and knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. My favorite part. Did you know you could get all this and include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited use, hydro spa, massage chairs, and total body enhancement. More, along with over access to 2,500 locations worldwide. That's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
And if you happen to get hurt at Planet Fitness, you can get some Swiss insurance. And right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Market Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit SwissINS.com. Back to the show.
Either way, I do have my black card from Planet Fitness, and I will tell you that it is one of the most convenient gym memberships that you could possibly have is Planet Fitness. I mean, they're all over the city. They're all over the region. They're all over the country. No matter where you're traveling. I talked to a guy. I went to dinner with a guy on Friday night, and I was pulling up my wallet, and my black card fell out because of where I had it. And he's like, "Oh, Planet Fitness." He's like, I travel for work, and it's the one gym membership that you can like have no matter what. So look into it if you are so inclined.
Good for you, Jack.
Absolutely. Pleasure now to be joined by one of our good friend of the show, as I like to call him. His name is Anthony Tomey. You probably know him from Born in Detroit, the brand, the great apparel that they have, or maybe the Tryon commercial with all the Jimmy John stuff, but 8 Mile Vodka as well. Lots going on, including now part owner of the new Big Three here in Detroit with Game Above, the ownership group Game Above. Anthony, welcome in, bud.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Appreciate it.
So we got to start, though, with our last topic, Anthony. Can you learn to be a professional athlete? You were in the Tigers organization, right? For how many years?
6.5 years.
Is it something that Bronny James can learn? Can he learn to be a better shooter? Can he learn to be a better defender? Can you make somebody into something?
Yes. I mean,
of course he can learn to be a better shooter.
You can learn to do those things.
Is he worthy?
Yes. He had, listen, the kid obviously has some skills. Let's be honest. He's not a first-round guy, but maybe if he waited 2 more years, played 3 years in college, maybe he is a first-round guy, right? Yeah. You can learn. It's about how hard you want to work. Is he a little undersized? Sure, right? Does he have athleticism? Does he have someone with him to train him properly? Sure. I'm sure he can afford, obviously, the best trainers, the best whatever. Can you learn to play defense? Hell yeah, you can learn to play defense. It's about how hard you want to work, right? Can you shoot all the time and become a better shooter? His dad became a better shooter, I feel like, right, over his career.
No doubt. Yeah.
You have to have some talent. You can't take a kid from high school and be like, if you work really hard, I get you in the big leagues.
Your last name's James, you're a pro.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a ceiling for everyone has some type of ceiling, but if can he make it in the NBA? 100% he can make it in the NBA as a whatever. Doesn't have to be a superstar. He can be a role player. He can be a great defender. He can be
the guy that wipes up when a dude falls on the floor.
Whatever he's got to do. But does he have a spot in the NBA? Yes, I believe he does. He's 19, 20 years old maybe?
Yeah.
In 2 to 3 years, can he be a solid player for somebody? Sure. 100% he can.
But not in baseball as much, I bet.
Baseball is a lot tougher. I mean, there's so many more spots. Yep. So many more players that come to one area. You got to think of how many millions of people per year. Every single high school in the country, every junior college, D1, D2, D3, all these different worldwide now too, right? So everybody's got a chance to get out there. Basketball's a little bit different.
Baseball's incredible. Like we played against each other when we were young. He played with my best friend Wellington for the Bulls, and we played with mega talented people. How many of them made it to the pros?
I mean, from the Bulls,
right.
I still am the only person that has gotten to at least AAA in the Bulls organization. That's 23 years old now. Man. No, more than that. Almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
It is
right.
It is
crazy
incredible.
Talented.
So
it's not that simple.
It's hard.
Even today on Fox 2, our two weather guys have a segment. They're called the Weather Boys, and they go around and they do these different challenges and things like that. So Alan Longstreet and Derek Kevra went to Utica to the USPBL, and they did a tryout with the guys out there at the USPBL. Now Alan Longstreet is a pretty athletic guy. The way he threw a baseball was just like, it was different. Like get the motion down to throw the baseball. And in that moment, as it's playing on the air, I'm thinking to myself, Anthony, just how hard it is and unnatural it is to throw a baseball. Here you have this very athletic guy, but he never played baseball. Yeah. Just a different sport. It is a difficult thing to do.
It's the hardest thing you can do is play baseball.
Absolutely.
When you get to a certain level, it is separate. You can put a baseball player in pretty much any sport, and they'll make it work, right?
Right.
You put anyone into a baseball uniform, that's not happening.
Michael Jordan.
They're not going to swing a bat properly. Look at J.J. McCarthy. He threw that pitch out.
Exactly.
That was horrendous. The guy's a top 5 quarterback in
look at what it
football.
takes to hit the Hall of Fame, right? If you hit a baseball, if you fail 70% of the time in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer.
You're doing well. Exactly.
That's insane.
But it's a different type of. You have to know what you're doing and be pretty good at it to get to that next level, right? You just do.
You just, I mean, when you talked about the Bulls organization that you played in 23 years, you are the only player to make it.
No one's gotten higher than AAA.
That is
Besides
an
me.
incredible realization.
Yeah.
You know, for all the, my kid's 7 years old, plays youth baseball. And it's funny that you just, the way the parents act and treat the kids.
Yep.
Not only, not so much, but even like a year or two up. You know what I mean? Like, like the 8-year-olds.
Then they start skipping in travel.
The 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds. Like, how those kids really go about it and how the parents act about it is just an incredibly difficult thing to do.
I mean, I coach my sons. I have 3 sons. I coached my oldest too in football, basketball, and baseball. We play year-round football. We play all. And some of these, they ask me, "What do you think how do you think my kid's doing?" I'm like, "He's doing well. He's working this, doing that." Well, like, should I specialize in it? I go, "Your kid's 6.
Right.
You shouldn't. You let him play 100 sports.
Right.
Right. B, I can't tell you what's going on. Like, this kid may not grow another inch the rest of his life. He's, whatever the case is. It all, parents need to take a time out, let them have fun, see what they're good at, keep going, put them with the best you can get with. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, well, who's traveling? Why would you travel at 7 years old?
Yeah,
I'll go to Brighton. I'll go to Canton. I'm not going to Texas. I'll tell you that much.
We all know kids that were like dominant at 14. And then high school, they're not dominant. Dominant in high school. They get to college, they're not dominant. Like, it's hard to continually level up.
I was the greatest player you've ever seen in your life at 12. I was 6'1" and 185 at 12.
My gosh.
Right, Sam?
Yeah.
Like, I was the biggest, strongest. No one could catch for me. It was a joke. Thankfully, I kept growing and kept getting better. But how many 12-year-olds did we see, Sam, that were just, was it. That was their peak. They never even made their high school.
They could throw 67 when they were 12 years old.
Curveball, dropping deuces on people, and then that was it. Their arm was gone.
Turn on the Little League World Series in August, right? I mean, look at the level of play from those kids. Each and every one of those kids that plays on that team in that tournament probably believes they're going pro, and many of them might not even go play college baseball.
They don't play 13 years, probably. Pretty honest. Like, those kids are 78 pounds.
Right.
Yeah,
I was 185. Right?
I peaked at 12. I threw all 6 innings in the championship game, won the game.
You
and
were
then
good, man.
After that, it was like, that was probably the highlight of my sports life.
I peaked in 8th grade for a lot of different things.
I haven't peaked yet.
For a lot of different
Anthony, talk to me about Game Above, like who your group is, what you guys do, because I think it's pretty cool that you guys purchased essentially a Detroit Big 3 team. The league's been around since 2017, I believe. Ice Cube has joined us many times at Fox 2 throughout the years talking about the league, and it's just really exciting to bring more sports to Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, we're totally pumped. I mean, this is every athlete's dream. I'm going to have to assume any person's dream to own your own professional sports team. And our founder, Keith Stone at Game Above, has done so much for everybody within the Metro Detroit area, Eastern Michigan especially. We've given over $34 million.
Wow.
In helping all these different causes and different technology school at Eastern Michigan. We just built a golf facility. We did the Reggie Jackson camp that we do every year. I mean, Keith is just an extraordinary man and has really given a lot back to the city. And we at Game Above are all Eastern Michigan alumni. Most of us are, the athletes from Eastern. Took a certain group of those guys and said, "Hey, we want to make a sports entity of Game Above Sports. Let's go buy this, guys." And we're like, "Yeah, I'm in. I'll do it, I guess."
Do you take Michigan guys?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he kind of approached a few of us and then talked to TJ Lang and I was like, "Hey, you guys are Detroit. You guys do a lot of things within the city. You're a successful business guy. Let's go out and do this. You guys face this thing and go out and make it happen." So it's like a video game, right?
It's incredible.
TJ does know this is basketball, not football, right?
He does. Amazingly, he likes to still hike things for no reason, but other than that, I think he's in a good spot.
You guys get to meet with Ice Cube?
We will be meeting with Ice Cube. Yes, I believe so. There's the season's still going on. They have playoffs and then the finals coming up soon. So I think once that finishes up, I think in mid-August, then we'll probably be in a straight timeline to figure out exactly what we're doing.
I think you guys should go and poach Caitlin Clark first step.
I mean, there's a lot of great. Caitlin would be awesome. She's a great talent. and B, she's also bringing the house, right?
Oh my
So
gosh.
everyone shows up for her.
Well, Ryan Ermanni says anybody can learn to be a pro, so I'm rooting Ryan. This guy hit a corner three.
You're like
we hit a corner three when we were downtown, so he's got a shot.
You're like a listener or a
I've
viewer.
always called him. He's like, but I haven't taken migraine
that
medication.
literally
when
puts
stickers
words
on.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Anthony, talk about just and you've got a year to figure it out. Essentially, maybe about 6 months to
Probably
figure it
a
out.
little bit less than a year. Yeah,
Probably
exactly.
about 6 months to figure it out because you'll start in the 2025 season, correct?
Correct. And then, after we made this announcement, the 4 teams, it's us.
Which came together quickly, right?
I mean, this is literally a 2-week deal. Like, Keith messaged us like, "Hey, this is what we're looking to do. You guys in?" Everyone's like, "Yes, let's do this." And then it was, I don't know, maybe we won't do this. We have some other things on the table. And then Houston came in, which we thought it was supposed to be a Dallas team. Houston came in like, boom, here's my money, I'm in. And then we had to get that last spot because the top 4 teams get certain different things that we get, right? To be take that chance to become the first 4.
Sure.
So we signed literally the next day.
Wow.
And we're like, okay, we're in, let's do this. and
Come hell or high water, we're here now.
Exactly. What are we doing? I don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're in. We got a team. We're going to make it happen.
Man.
And, we'll work everything out. We'll just make it happen. This is how we operate all of our businesses, right?
How much do you think your pro experience is going to help you in operating this? So, like, how you want to be treated, how you sign contracts, how the dealt with free agency and stuff like that.
I think, between TJ and I, we have a lot of experience in that, knowing what we want chemistry-wise on the team, right? 3-on-3 is a specialized team. Like, it's not regular hoops, right? You have to have certain strategies. You have to have certain players. You can't just have the same 6'7" dude that's going to drive the lane, right? You got to have a guy that can shoot. You have to have a post player. You have 5 guys in your team, so you have to be able to. It's very strategic in what we're going to do. And we have obviously one of the greatest players of all time on our team at Game Above in George Gervin, which is a huge thing.
2 Eastern Michigan guys.
Yeah, we're all Eastern Michigan guys, right?
Guys.
And then so having George already he's already a coach in the league already is a huge advantage for us. I don't know exactly what he's going to do with us for sure, but he's part of Game Above, so he'll definitely give us some good advice on how to run this thing and how we do.
If you need a shooter, you got him.
We got me exactly.
Put ice on there.
Exactly.
You guys going to do like open tryouts for Detroit?
I can only hope so.
Yes.
I can only hope we do.
We got to send
tryouts.
some people. We got to send some.
And you guys are going to we're going to get everybody down there to take video, and we do it for the Tigers do open tryouts every year.
Absolutely,
the Crews do it and the Pistons do it.
Everyone does it. It's you get a couple kids that can play, that can actually do something. You get a few guys that show up in jeans, right?
Right.
Like you're gonna get
Flannel Sam shows up.
So it's just one of those things that yes, we will. I'm going on a limb and saying yes, we're going to have some open tryouts. So
excellent.
Talking to Anthony,
you can show.
Talking to Anthony Tomey, co-founder, Born in Detroit, of course, part of the ownership group Game Above that are bringing a Big 3 team here to Detroit. Now, there's 4 teams that are going to have home bases essentially, and it's Houston, Detroit,
Miami, LA.
Miami and LA. That's so great, man. And I think a couple of years ago when the Big 3 came, they had like 13,000 people downtown.
Between 13,500 and 14,000. And that's with no affiliation, right, to the city. Just, hey, let's go check this game out. Seems pretty cool. We're hoping that, with having an affiliation to Detroit, seeing all what we're going to do, who's involved, that we're going to get a much, hopefully a bigger crowd. And we want to engage the fans immediately. Like, this is legit, like I told you, like a video game, right? We get to name our team. We get to pick our colors. We get to pick our coaches, our players, or if we want a GM, whatever the case. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to really get out into the city and say, hey guys, here are our names. We're going to hopefully try and do something like a NCAA tournament bracket, right? Maybe 16 teams, put them out there, put the different names up there and say, hey, everyone vote. Let's cut this down and see what happens from it. So
that's what Utah's doing for their hockey
That's
team.
what we kind of took a page out of their book for sure.
As far as online streaming, you got a network that's willing to do it. I mean, we're better than Bally's.
I know a guy. At least you guys are on the air, right?
At least you'll be able to see us. Part of this too is just bringing more sports. I think more sports is never a bad thing. We see it with the Michigan Panthers as well. There is a market for stuff like this.
For sure.
I'm sure you're not trying to replace the Detroit Pistons or anything like
some
that.
winning basketball would be nice.
Maybe we should, guys.
Right. I mean,
listen.
potentially you could, but at the same time, this is something that can be really fun for families too.
Yeah, it's a great experience. I mean, listen, we're not trying to beat the Pistons. That's not our goal, right? Our goal is to have an additional basketball, something that people can do within the city. It's an entertainment value, right? That's what we're here to do. Provide entertainment for people as well. Hopefully bring awesome players, right? Great NBA, ex-NBA guys. We're trying to really move the needle and bring a younger people.
Sure.
G League guys off these. There's some studs that play in the streets, right?
Jack Oakey, don't forget. Jack Oakey, Oakland U.
Yeah, I mean, this is super.
The unlimited possibilities. Because while you're talking, I'm like, oh man, how cool would it be just to get back like Rip, Chauncey, and Ben for a 3?
I mean, wouldn't that'd be unbelievable?
They love the city, and
right?
I could see them doing that just for fun.
Exactly. I mean, like it's unlimited, right? We have the ability to kind of do. I'm sure there's going to be some parameters out there, but we kind of have the opportunity to do whatever we want to do and bring in whoever we want to bring in. I think the big thing is the ownership groups that are involved all have a couple dollars to their name, and that's what we want to bring in, those type of people, so we can bring the league up, pay some more. Maybe we bring in some extra players that will go for a certain contract, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to grow the game. With the Olympics coming up, there's 3-on-3 in the Olympics right now, men's and women's.
That's good.
And this is a worldwide game now. There's a team out of London that wants to come in. China loved the 3-on-3, right? Australia loves the 3-on-3 as well. There's a lot of different things that I wasn't aware of until we started looking into this and be like, this is a legit thing. It's a different game.
Getting some name suggestions already. The Detroit Tropics.
The Detroit Tropics, huh?
The Motor City Speed, Detroit Thunder Nuggets.
Send me some of those. Those are quality. Like, we want to do that. That's what we want the city to engage with us and our fans and everybody be like, hey, this is something. Hey, I helped name this thing, right? Or I thought it's a pretty cool thing. And we want to bring it in and make sure everybody's involved. It's a great thing for the kids. Like you said, the Michigan Panthers, we talk about Jimmy John's Field, that whole league. People love that stuff, right? It's something different. It's affordable. You go out there and you're seeing good talent. Some of those guys are in the big leagues, right? And it's a great opportunity for all of us. And literally a dream for me and TJ and the rest of our team.
What do these guys get paid roughly?
So right now, I think it's $10,000 if you win, $8,000 if you lose. So you're looking, $90,000 to $120,000 a summer.
Right. What is it? 10 games plus playoffs or
plus
something
playoffs
like that.
And stuff. So we're trying to get that up a little bit once we get some more teams in.
Not bad for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks summer gig.
It's just some straight, just to come hoop. I'll go hoop at 10K.
You don't have to say names, but has anybody reached out to you since they found out your ownership? Like, hey, we'd love to come play. That would sell some tickets, and we would know.
I think there's one or two. There's a local guy we would love to have that could definitely let it fly.
Jalen Rose. No.
Jalen was the guy. No. That'd be amazing if it was.
We saw him yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jalen can hoop.
Jack Golke, baby.
That's what I said.
I mean, I would love to see Jack. I mean, like, obviously, I hope he makes the NBA team, and I think he should. You're not going to find a guy that can do what he does.
Right.
I mean, he can literally shoot it from anywhere. But in the big three, we have 4-point shot.
Ooh.
Like, he's that guy that we love to have. Caitlin Clark would be amazing, right? Like, she would bring fans in, but she can literally shoot it from half court and make that shot consistently. So
the Detroit Buffs. That's a great name.
So we have actually, I did an AI of that. We had actually a buffalo, and then we put the Buffs on it.
The Detroit Buffs.
I think that'd be pretty sweet too. That'd be cool.
That is fantastic.
Cool.
Hey, you got time to sit? Sit. All right. I want to talk a little Lions with you next. A little NFL.
And some MLB All Stars.
Absolutely. We got to do that. Did you see the national anthem last night, by the way? We're going to play that for you. The reason why it was so bad, there's an update to it. A little bit of a sad update, actually. We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, our friends at KDK Law have you covered. Child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham have your back. 10 plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan that QR code right there, or you can call 248-971-0476. That number again, 248-971-0476. You might not need it right now, but Jot that number down just in case. Say Woodward Sports sent you, KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
And also somebody who has your back is Guardian Alarm. When you see that black and yellow sign on the front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. This technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care, so call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pitch? Don't worry about it. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's what I said. $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today. 248-290-8242. You can visit them online at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today. 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You could walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. We're talking to our good friend Anthony Tomey. Stick is in the house as well. Braylon out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Maz is with us. We got the full crew, actually. KG, Pete, James, Joel, and, of course, Anthony Tomey. You know him probably from Born in Detroit, right? I mean, you see it everywhere now. You do a million things, but that Born in Detroit brand is everywhere.
It's doing really well. People might see me making sandwiches once in a while.
Oh, yeah, of course, obviously. You know, the Jimmy John's, Jimmy John's king.
Renaissance man, though. Yeah. Jimmy John's, you got the chicken. You were doing the chicken, and then you played for the Tigers, so you may know him from there, too. Don't forget about the Tigers, man.
No, I know.
Decent little thing.
Right.
Back in the day.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, Born in Detroit's taking over. I see it at De La Salle football games. You guys have sponsored local football teams. You have NIL athletes as well, right?
We've got 7 NIL athletes and
everything.
We're just trying to get out there, and we now have the Born In, which is huge. So we can go born in any city and stay in the country now. So,
that's smart. Took the Tommy Walker approach.
Yeah, we signed Ohio State, and we have Michigan, we have Ohio State. We had we just had Donovan Edwards, Will Johnson, and Samaj Morgan out for a autograph session last week. It went really well. So we're getting out there. We're doing our thing. I think we've done it the way we should, right?
Yep.
We didn't want to just go blow it up and go all out. We just kind of slowly got there and made it happen and kept ourselves at base when no one's like, oh, we don't have any money left. We don't have this. And now we're just organically growing.
Well, that was 3 years ago that you started that, right?
3 years ago.
Because it was about the time we started Woodward Sports.
Yep.
You guys were, and we also got this brand, and now it's everywhere. You got the downtown people that are broadcasting there for the draft.
Signing on the rest of the year. We're staying downtown and hopefully for maybe forever.
Sustained success.
And now with the big three, that might be a great play for us to keep downtown and have a spot that we can do everything in as well. So
I love that. I love that. Anthony, I wanted to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you all about this too. Here is last night's national anthem, and we'll have the update afterwards, but take a listen to the rendition of the national anthem. This is Ingrid Andress, who's a Southfield native, by the way. Southfield.
Oh, God.
If you're able, and kindly remove your caps for the presentation of our nation's colors by the Texas Department of Public Safety Honor Guard. Now to perform the national anthem, please welcome 4-time Grammy-nominated country singer-songwriter Ingrid Andress.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars.
To start talking over it a little bit so we don't get flagged on YouTube. You know, there are rules and regulations for show and broadcast stuff like that. So, but Ingrid Andress is checking herself into rehab, actually. She sent an Instagram post out. She was drunk. Sheesh. She said she is I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans in this country that I love so much for that rendition. The Star Spangled Banner, she was drunk. She admitted to having too many drinks. And, I was watching it live, and I couldn't believe, I was like, is this the absolute worst thing that I've ever heard? And then I was thinking about Roseanne. Right. And then I'm thinking, well, Roseanne wasn't a singer, and she was trying to make a joke of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was being compared to the 2006 Saturday Night Live skit that Maya Rudolph did.
Yeah.
I mean, and then here you have, she was drunk. So at least there's an explanation for it.
Remember Carl Lewis at the next game?
Yeah, but again, not a singer.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You know?
Shaka Khan at the NBA All Star Game a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was
Fergie.
horrible.
Fergie.
So then Fergie was bad.
Fergie.
So then I'm reading and I see
Fergalicious.
TMZ Sports put up this tweet that says, "Yeah, I was drunk." I didn't even think of that last night.
No.
I just didn't know what to think.
But
It's,
honestly, and anybody going to rehab, that's a serious thing, and we shouldn't make light of that. She's taking responsibility for an addiction that she may have, and she should definitely take care of that. But if you're a professional singer, drinking shouldn't make you that bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, you should still have the skill set to be able to pull off a song.
Exactly. It's one of those things where, listen, this is your career, right?
Right, this is what you do.
This is what tell us in Pro Bowl. It's your career. You want to drink it away, you want to go party all night long, and you can't perform the next day?
Right.
That's on you. This is your career. You do what you got to do with it, right? So you got to be able to tie, if you want to go out and do that, you got to tie one on and just make it happen.
I'm going to read her post for you. This is from Ingrid Andress on Instagram. I'm not going to BS you. She said the word. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to BS y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans of this country. I love so much the rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. I mean, so
Taking it serious.
Like, honestly, so just to your point, honestly, if I'm being totally honest, it doesn't sound like somebody that is taking it seriously. That sounds like somebody who their people got a hold of her and they're like, look, your career is on the brink here. We are sending you to rehab. It's much different if you realize you need to go to rehab or if somebody is forcing you to go to rehab. So I hope she's okay. But nonetheless.
Well, let's be honest. She's a country artist, and country people love America. And to do that to the national anthem, she's trying to save her career at this point.
Yep, for sure.
To put that at the end, what a stupid what a stupid I hear it's fun.
Right.
Not smart.
Day camp.
Did you see the home run derby last night, by the way?
I did. That was awesome.
I thought it was
Love the way they stretch it to 3 hours and put me to sleep.
Well, I mean, that aside, I did like the new format. At least it puts a time limit on it a little bit. You get 40 pitches in the first round, 3 minutes, and then it goes down after that. Bobby Witt came inches
from going to extras.
Yeah, exactly, and that was my pick yesterday on the show, Bobby Witt Jr.
Did someone pick Teoscar?
Somebody did as their second pick.
I said I wanted to.
You hit the exact one.
I said
that was his second pick,
does.
though. That was his second pick.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it was fun. The home run derby's fun. Again, the thing about it, though, Anthony, I think you got to have Judge. You got to have Soto. You got to have all those guys in it. And, that's the way you make that thing great.
For sure. I mean, it's like anything, right? The NBA, you want LeBron in there.
Right.
You want the big Vince Carter guys. Like, you want the best players to do that. And I get it. Like, they don't want to mess up their swing and all that. But at the same time, it's not like they're not going and hitting bombs during BP every day. Right? They do. They spray it to the right, to the left, right field, center field. They do what they got to do. It's not going to affect your swing that much where you're like, well, I can't hit after that.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Pete Alonso, he did nothing.
Yeah,
Pete Alonso,
like
he had nothing. He had nothing last night.
Have you ever been in a home run derby?
Back in the day, yeah. I used to drop some bombs back in the day.
How different is that to force your swing to hit a home run like that?
I mean, it really isn't because, well, I guess back in high school, and that's all I wanted to do in BP. I didn't have a plan. Like, I'm gonna hit a few to right field here.
Spray a couple the other way.
I'm gonna spray up the middle a little bit. It was more like I just want to drop bombs and see what happens. Right, get my swing and loosen my back up. But I do respect the way that these guys go about this. I played in the All Star Game in 2005 with West Michigan Whitecaps, and all the guys that were in that. It's a different deal. You got to get that lift in. You got to get your arms up. Now, obviously, with all the different angled launch angles and all these different things, that wasn't a thing back then.
Exit velo.
Yeah. I mean,
I still don't know what exit.
It's like when you're golfing though, and you're like, all right, I'm really gonna put it into this one. I want to give it my longest drive, and then you end up shanking it because you're not doing your natural swing. If you do that 50 times in a row, the next time you go to hit, it's not the same motion because you're still trying to kill it.
I think more than the swing, it hurts your back. I mean, those guys were dropping bombs yesterday.
Crazy.
And that's how many swings? A couple hundred swings.
Right.
Plus they're getting BP in the cages beforehand, between every round.
Tough.
That's a lot of swings. Your hands start getting blisters. I mean, not to say like that shouldn't bring those guys in, but I get a little bit of their concern with that. The dunk contest, I have no idea why they don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, Ozuna hit one 475 feet, but he couldn't finish the year. And Jose Ramirez, he changed his swing for the home run derby. He's got a home run swing and then his usual 320 average swing. And he changed it last night for this contest. And it's fun, but I think it's too long.
Yeah.
I still think it's too long. It still needs to be tweaked.
They should change it to longest home run contest.
I don't know.
Everybody gets 10 home runs. Whoever hits the longest.
I don't know what they can
dudes
do.
Be hitting it out of the.
It just bores you after a while.
Yeah.
I have it on as background noise, and I never watched the ESPN version of it. I put on ESPN2. I use the StatCast.
You were going after Carl Ravitch.
I don't
night.
like what they do on Sunday Night Baseball. I don't like the announcers on Sunday Night Baseball. I think they're boring as hell. So I went on, and they had Kevin Brown, the Orioles voice. They have Jess Mendoza. I like them. Didn't you change the channel?
I did change the channel
Isn't
once
it
you
better?
told me about it. It was better in that I liked the announcers and the graphics, but it was like 2 minutes behind.
Was it 2 minutes
Yeah.
behind? But how do you know that? Unless you're
Because
looking at Twitter.
I know, but I just didn't like that,
Okay.
knowing that I was late on something.
Okay.
I might as well have paused the TV. All Star Game tonight, National League. The American League is actually a favorite in this one, a slight favorite. I look at this lineup, and I'm hoping somebody gets on because Skeens is going to pitch 1 inning. Judge bats 4th. I'd love to see Judge versus Skeens. You know, that's the matchup everybody wants to see in the World Series, right? I mean,
It'll be fun.
Even Judge Soto, or excuse me, even Skeens Soto.
I want to see
is good.
Skeens throw 9 pitches for 9 strikes is what I really
Right.
want to see.
Yeah.
I think that's great. The American League leads 47-44. Up till last year, they had won 9 straight.
Yeah.
NL finally won last year. And the American League is, I think, a much better team than the National League. I'd bet the AL tonight.
What do you think? What do you think about Skeens?
And that guy's he's unbelievable. Like, he's just a freak of nature. I feel like he's got that dirty mustache. He goes out there, but you know what? He throws three pitches for strikes, which is for a power pitcher like that. That's not something you see, right? 100 out of 100 plus out of his fastball. Then he throws a dirty curveball slider, and then he throws a changeup. He does. I mean, he's throwing 93-mile-an-hour changeup.
Trying to
It's
think, like,
crazy.
best pitcher since who? I mean, Verlander.
Doc Gooden.
I mean, Verlander and Scherzer are right there. I mean, Scherzer came a little bit later. Obviously, he didn't start his career the way JV did.
Strasburg was really
Strasburg
good.
was legit.
Yep.
He flamed out quick.
Kerry Wood.
Injured.
Yeah, Kerry Wood.
Kerry Wood might be a good comparison.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he doesn't
Right.
flame out like that.
20 strikeouts.
But-
Wasn't that against the Tigers, by the way?
Astros.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Astros.
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that live at WGN
Yes.
Me
right
too.
back in the
Harry
day.
Carey was drunk in the third inning.
Harry Carey, I'll never
I
forget.
tell you.
Those games
He
were
could do his job
fantastic.
drunk.
He could.
Those games were
He was
fantastic
better
on
when he was drunk.
WGN.
Yeah, Harry Carey could still do it while he was drunk. I mean,
I'll never forget. I was watching. It
God,
was
I
like a
loved
game
him.
in April, and get home from school, and hey, Stoney, they make a Budweiser. They make a Budweiser. They make a Bud Light, and they make a Bud Dry. How about making a Budweiser hot for a cold day like today? I'll never forget that. I mean,
Hey, anytime I went to Wrigley, I would always get the seats underneath the press box. So I can sell. To me, the 7th inning stretch, Harry Carey owns the 7th inning stretch.
for sure.
If you never saw one at Wrigley, it was amazing. And, once in a while they'll play it. They'll play it for you at Wrigley. But that was a thrill of my life
do you
to
know
go
the
to that.
sad thing about the Tigers games during the 7th inning stretch? And at least notice this next time you go. They say root for the home team.
They don't say the Tigers?
No, like the
No way.
official on the time. How don't you say root
Well,
for the Tigers?
the fans say Tigers.
I don't know if they do.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Okay,
do.
look at
will.
the board.
I will.
Next time you go. How do you say root for the home team?
We'll tell the scoreboard crew to change that.
It's blasphemy.
I'm more concerned that I can't buy Cracker Jacks there. Like,
Why not?
it's part of the song. I never see them. You
No,
ever see
they're
Cracker
there.
Jacks? Where?
Oh, they're there.
Where?
You can buy them at any stand.
Are there peanuts involved in Cracker
Yes, but
Jack? That's why.
there's like 5 peanuts left in the Cracker Jack box.
well, I mean,
Just want the toy. That's all I came for.
It's always
my
a tattoo.
Hey, wanted to talk to this, and again, our good friend Anthony Tomey is with us. Tom Verducci, MLB baseball writer,
One
says
of the best.
says that the Orioles and the Dodgers are putting a package together for Tarek Skubal, loaded with prospects. And we were just talking to Kirk Gibson about this yesterday. Kirk Gibson said he would sign Tarek Skubal today or tomorrow if he was the Tigers.
He said he'd sign Flaherty,
and
too.
Flaherty, too. What kind of haul would you have to have in order to get rid of Tarek Skubal, especially if you have the O's and the Dodgers in essentially a bidding war for Skubal? A, would you do it? B, what would it take?
Yes. Yes is the answer. Like as much as I would love to see Skubal and Mize and Manning and all these, and Olsen,
Jackson Joe
stay
coming up.
together,
Yeah.
right? Flaherty's gone.
Yeah.
Flaherty's gone. Like 100%. He's going to be traded. You'll get something solid for that, 1 to 2 guys. For if you're Baltimore, if you're the Tigers asking for Baltimore, you need Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
You need their number 2, their number 3 prospect is a first baseman. You need 3 prospects, and you need a young guy that's already in the big leagues already.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's going to come in tomorrow
Gunnar Henderson.
and hit. Now we're going to get Gunnar Henderson. You know,
Holiday
the Dodgers
could be your shortstop right away.
Yeah, the
Holiday
Dodgers.
could come
You got to go get that. You know, their top. Probably need three. Same thing. 3 of the top 10 prospects, and you need their number 1, and you need that kid, that Lux kid, right?
Oh, Gavin Lux.
Legit. Gavin Lux is great. He's young. He's probably 24, maybe 25.
They tried to get him years ago.
They had that, and I might have a source. He was in the Rodriguez deal last year.
Oh, yeah.
That was a done deal.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know what
Rodriguez
happened.
screwed
It's unexcusable.
Right.
But aren't you afraid to trade away an ace like this for more prospects? Like we did this with Verlander, we did it with Scherzer, we did it with Price, we did it with Porcello, and we got nothing back for those 4 guys. So as a Tigers fan, it's like we got a guy.
We have a guy.
Hang on to the guy.
We have a few guys.
Pay him.
I don't listen. I'm good either way. I'd love to keep him. He's going to cost $35 to $40 million, which is
ain't my money.
Just what it is, right? It's part of the deal. But is it better for us if we're not going to surround him with? We don't have any hitters in the system. 0. I know for a fact we don't. One of my best friends, my catcher, is the head manager in Lakeland. We don't have much. We have a couple kids. He has Max Clark on his team. He has the other kids.
What do you think of him?
Legit.
Yeah.
Great hitter. Great.
Because every time I see what's his name in Texas right now, Wyatt Langford.
You're sitting
Hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
Hit for the cycle.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Everybody had him plugged to the Tigers because he was ready to go. And then, he picks Clark. Clark is a great talent. He's probably 3 years away.
Yeah.
Right? He's gonna finish it he might get up to AA, or up to Whitecaps this year at some point. He'll be in AA next year. Maybe be in AA next year. It's probably 2 ways a year from AA.
Yeah.
And then the third year he'll go a little bit of dubs, a little bit of trips, and
takes so long, man.
Anthony, you're a guy that's taken that ride before.
Yeah.
What is? Talk to me about those different levels. Like what as a player, do you know what you have to do to get up to the next level? Is the play that much different? Like, could you tell when you go to single A to double A to triple A?
Yeah.
You can tell the difference.
How about the treatment?
Well, the treatment is much better as you go on, obviously. If you're a college pitcher coming out, right, and you go to A-ball, you can get players out just because you know how to pitch. You throw curveballs 3-2 on odd different counts, and you're gonna get kids out. Once you get to AA, that's where the game changes, right? If you can play in AA, you can play in it. You can play in the big leagues. There's more. I promise you, there's more 100-mile-an-hour throwers and more guys dropping absolute bombs in AA than there are in the big leagues. But it's right here. It's mental. They can't get out of their. You see guys. I've never seen guys hit more home runs in BP, further home runs than in AA. They just can't figure it out mentally.
Wow.
Same thing with the guys throwing 100. Everybody was.
Jeez.
Literally, I threw underhand compared to half these kids. Like they were just throwing literally 95 to 100, just like this. But they can't throw strikes. They don't hit the zone. They don't attack hitters, and that's what they want. They loved me because I just attacked hitters all the time and just got people out, and that was all it was.
Can Torkelson rebound?
Yeah, he can. I mean, the guy hit 30 bombs last year. He's mental right now. I guarantee.
I hear
mental.
he's lost, completely
It's mental.
lost.
It's mental, and it sucks that that's the way it is, but it's a mental game. Baseball is the hardest game you'll ever play.
Oh,
mentally. It's a drag. It's 162 games. He'll probably come back up, I'm guessing, in September, give him a chance and see what happens.
But it's crazy because I lived in Grand Rapids for a while, and the Whitecaps are out there, obviously, and, I was going to games and getting to know the players and stuff like that. These guys are coming in from Dominican Republic and living with shelter families and stuff like that, and living off of like $5 to $10 a day eating. Like, those guys' dedication to becoming professional ball players is unreal because they are on the bottom level trying to get their way up top. And like you said,
they send $800 home for the month, and their family lives for the month on $800.
Crazy,
right? They'll do anything to stay in America.
And those are the guys you're playing against trying to get to the top spot. Baseball's
it's a tough game.
It's so hard to get to pros.
Because it's a business, right?
Yep.
So those first, second round guys are going to always get every chance to go ahead of you, even though they don't deserve it physically on the field. And they're just going to keep getting opportunities, and you got to grind. If you can't grind, you can't stick around. You're not a good teammate. See ya.
I'm just so curious to see what the next 15 days are going to look like because what happens in these 15 games out of the All-Star break is going to determine potentially the next decade for the Detroit Tigers.
For sure.
I mean, when you think about it, 15 days for the next decade, because if you fall out of this thing, if you lose a couple of games, you potentially trade Skubal, and it might be the best thing for your organization moving forward. If you, let's say, trade him to the Baltimore Orioles and you get a Jackson Holiday and 3 or 4 other guys, that could be a real nucleus for your team added to the nucleus that you already have. If you win and just stay there on the outside looking in of a wild card berth, maybe you go 10-5 even, and you're 3 or 4 games out of a wild card berth. Do you hang on to these guys and lose out potentially on reshaping your organization for the next 10 years? It is really crazy to think about that. 15 games could shape the next decade of what your team will look like.
Yeah, I don't see us trading Skubal. I don't think anyone's going to give up that much. You can't. If you're giving up 3 prospects and a major league ready kid
during the
season, you better have Skubal locked up for the next 5 years after this.
You will, and those teams could afford him.
They can.
Well, you better have your other 3 starters in place too, because if you're going to do that, that's a World Series move. It's not just we're trying to improve the team move.
Well, I'll talk to you about these 2 teams that are being rumored. Okay, the LA Dodgers cannot go into Philadelphia and win 4 games in 7 times against the Philadelphia Phillies.
With that stat,
they just cannot do it. And I'll tell you, if they don't get healthy, I mean, if you get through the first 4 in the lineup, those 5 guys behind them, if they hit, Dodgers win. If they don't, but you can't count on that. So the Dodgers, I think, have to get Skubal, thinking that he's got to go win a game 4 and a game 7 against Philadelphia potentially.
But you also have to think the Dodgers may not literally be able to afford them. They have how much in their payroll?
$1 billion.
They have billion. Well,
that's all deferred.
It's all deferred.
It's all deferred to him.
It is all deferred, but they had to make it deferred because they couldn't afford the payroll they have. Right? Baltimore's the place for him. Baltimore is the place for him. They need him. They took Baltimore traded for Flaherty last year, and he didn't even play.
And
he got hurt and whatever. So they're not touching him. Someone will take Flaherty for sure.
How about somebody that'll take Javi Baez with him?
Nobody's taking Javi.
Let me stick with this.
Now we talking. Yeah, but hey, you want this guy? Pay up.
Let me stick with
half. We'll eat half of the contract. You take the other half and Baez with you.
Let me stick with this Baltimore situation for because I think this is the most realistic spot.
They have so many prospects.
If you're Baltimore, you want to play a wild card series or a divisional series, go into New York and face Soto, Judge, and Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who are you going in with right now? I mean, you've got Corbin Burns, the All-Star Game starter.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Baltimore Orioles with Corbin Burns and Tarek Skubal?
That'd be like Verlander, Scherzer. It'd be the same kind of deal.
Yep.
Again, we had the greatest rotation in the history of life. You had Price, you had Verlander, you had Scherzer.
Porcello
Sanchez.
Pfister. Yeah, don't forget about Doug
We had
Pfister.
both World Series be the greatest staff of all time and couldn't get it done.
No relief
Sanchez
pitching.
wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Guys, break time. You want to stick around? Let's go. I mean, we're having fun on a Tuesday. I'm not kicking you out. We're talking.
It's the All-Star break.
It is the All-Star break.
Wow.
We're talking NFL. We got Lions talk, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about Devontae Adams potentially going to the New York Jets. All that and more coming up next. But first, a message from Wake Up Woodward.
Wake Up Woodward, the best morning show in the city. Y'all know what it is. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. It's Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and myself as we cover all of Detroit sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction. But that's only on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza is taking over Michigan, and if y'all ain't had it by now, man, the pizza, amazing. The chicken tenders, amazing. But the star, the real MVP, those honey biscuits, man. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights, too, for everybody out there. Be sure to stop in and try a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Tom Mazaway up with us as well. Anthony Tomey, our good friend from Born in Detroit, Jimmy Johns, and Game Above, who is the ownership group for the new Big Three team coming to Detroit. Feel free to rewind. We talked about that in hour number 1 of the program. Anthony's a huge sports fan, played in the Tigers organization as well. So he knows his stuff. So we just said, Anthony, you're Braylon Edwards today. So I said,
we look very similar.
Hey, you played golf together a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
Braylon looks good playing golf too, doesn't he?
He dressed the part, man. He came in a nice vest. It was 98 degrees outside. It was him and I versus my other two, my brother-in-law, my buddy, and it was a great time. We had an awesome time, and we were just dropping bombs. Like Braylon's all or nothing, right? He's going to drop one or he's going to hit it 10 feet sideways. So
did you hear what him and his father did a couple of weeks ago?
No.
It was like a par 5, 500, I think, yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
Braylon hit it about 300. Stan comes up and holds it.
Get out of here. I did not hear that.
No
and
way.
they call that what? An albatross?
That's an albatross.
An albatross.
Wow.
No kidding.
A 2 on a 5.
Wow. I didn't hear that story.
Isn't that something?
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's harder than a hole-in-one, probably.
Oh, probably for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. Guys, I want to talk about some NFL, though. Bills, Bears, Chargers, Chiefs, Dolphins, Giants, Saints, 49ers, rookies report to camp today.
Yeah.
The NFL season has officially begun today. The Lions don't start.
We made it.
We did. We made it officially. The Lions don't start to the end of the month, about a week and a half or so, but football season is here. Anthony, just quick synopsis of the Detroit Lions 2024-2025 season. I believe, and I've said before, that you've got to make it to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, this season is a waste. That's how much the expectation is here in Detroit. I'm not saying to win the Super Bowl,
You might as well win it.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say it's a waste if you don't win it. But I do believe they are the best team in the NFC. And I think you only get to be that every so often.
Correct.
You've got to take advantage when it happens. I think they've got to get to the Super Bowl, or it's, I don't want to say bust, but bust. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're in that window, right? We've seen this 100 times, obviously not with the Lions, but everybody else, right? You have a 3 or 4 year window where your quality, you got people under control, contract-wise. Listen, we just paid Goff, we just paid St. Brown, we just paid Sewell. We have probably the best tandem in running backs in the league.
Yeah.
We're top 2, right? This is it. We improved our defense tremendously, I believe. I think DJ Reader's a great ad. The cornerbacks, obviously we have a couple rookies that we're going to throw out there and see what happens. But this is our year. We were right there. We should have been there in the first place last year. We have to come strong this year.
And you look at San Francisco, right? I mean, San Francisco's a team that, I don't know, of course, you make it to 2 Super Bowls and 4 NFC championships and all that stuff. Who wouldn't want that? But they've got a goose egg. You know, do you want to be San Francisco? Go out, go win the thing this year. Start that way. San Francisco, although many people believe it's their NFC championship game to lose this year and their conference to win.
The Super Bowl is at their home.
I think they've got some cracks in the armor there.
Yeah.
And again, today,
Brandon
Ayuk has requested a trade officially from the 49ers.
And that's going on and back and forth. It's been a big soap opera.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll trade him. I think they'll sign him. Where's he want to go? You know, he did talk about going to Washington. I ain't leaving San Francisco if I'm him. And I don't think they'll let him go. And I know Braylon and you think they got a lot of holes, but I'd rather be, if I was a 49ers fan, I'd be so ecstatic to be a 49ers fan, even if I lost those 2 Super Bowls. This ain't the Buffalo Bills 0-4. This ain't the Vikings 0-4. This is a quality team that is, I think, right back where they're going to be. It all goes on Brock Purdy, right? Brock Purdy, if he just hangs like he is, they're going to be right back there. I think it should be the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Lions. Those 3 photo finish to go see who goes to the Super Bowl.
I think the Eagles are the team to beat, not San Francisco. I think San Francisco had its window.
Yep.
This is 3 times, right? They had 2 Super Bowl appearances. There was an NFC Championship game. Obviously, they ran
without a quarterback.
They literally ran out of quarterbacks.
Right.
But the Eagles, I mean, on paper, the Eagles should have been great last year too, right? So obviously paper doesn't mean a lot, right? It means, yeah, you should be good. They totally lost their minds last year and just, ruined the end of their season for them. The Lions just got to play tough. They're going to score points, right? We're going to score points. We got to just keep other teams under control. I think we have a great opportunity to do that.
The Eagles are an interesting team to me too, because I just don't know how they're going to look with Jason Kelce not there. I mean, he is the guy that makes that engine go offensively. And I know, Jalen Hurts, and they got Saquon Barkley, and they've got A.J. Brown. I mean, they paid him a ton of money.
Yeah. Saquon's going to really help them.
I agree, too. But, Jason Kelce was the backbone of that offense. Brandon Graham, although a little bit long in the tooth, was the backbone of that defense.
Yeah.
Both those guys. And now you have Nick Sirianni, who I am not a Nick Sirianni fan. I'm curious to see how that looks.
I think BG's still there.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got another year.
Brandon's still there.
Yeah,
but
he's still there.
Not in his last leg, I don't think.
Oh,
but
he'll be fine.
there.
Okay.
Listen, yeah.
I thought he was done.
No.
Either way, you look at you're dismissing the Ayuk situation in San Francisco. I think this is a big deal.
Well, Ayuk was the guy. He had the great year last year. Why did he have a great year? Yes, he's a good receiver. Debo was hurt, right? When Debo went down, they were awful, right? Debo gets hurt literally every year.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations where Ayuk needs to be that guy. They didn't bring anybody else in that I know of. So
they drafted
Ricky Pearsall,
they drafted
his replacement.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Lions are deep. They have all the talent they need to get to. I think I love what Dan Campbell. I would play for Dan Campbell.
Rated the #1 most liked coach in the NFL, by the way, recently.
That's what you got to have. You got to have someone you want to run through a brick wall for, right? He's that guy. They were this close. He's going to push and push and push. And I think these guys can taste it, right? They can get there.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be the key for us, right? There's going to be, I think Philadelphia is more talented than we are on paper. But I think we have a lot of heart. We have the best O-line. And as long as we stay healthy or healthy-ish, because everyone's going to get hurt at some point, we're going to be in a good
Does
spot.
TJ like him?
TJ loves the Lions. We talked about this morning.
Yeah.
He loves the Lions, loves where we're at, loves what Campbell's doing. And, you know, I think the Lions are at that point where we'll see where we're at midway through. If they have to make a move at the trade deadline, this is the year to do that.
You look at some of them, and I don't blame these guys. If I was a San Francisco 49ers fan, I would not blame Brandon. I would not put the blame on Brandon Ayuk. I mean, Justin Jefferson, $35 million, AJ Brown, $32 million, Amon-Ra, $30 million, Tyreek Hill, $30 million. I mean, he wants to go to a place where he's the number one guy, where he's going to get that kind of money. Yeah. I don't blame the player at all. I mean, these organizations will chew you up, use you till they can't use you anymore, and spit you out. And when you are a player and you believe that you could be or are as good, if not better, than some of these other guys, Cooper Kupp, $26 million, Devontae Adams, $28 million, Jalen Waddle, $28 million. Nico Collins is getting paid $24 million from the Houston Texans. Yeah. You know, you want yours. I don't blame the guy.
I don't either. I wish he was on this team. I wish he was on a Lions.
He's a number 3 option for them too, right?
Right.
Debo, Kittle, and maybe even four. Maybe McCaffrey might get more receptions, right?
Yeah.
So it's a time for him. He knows he needs to blow up this year and make his money, right? I get it.
Do you see Nick Wright on Fox Sports 1 today was talking about this? And he said, he's like, I don't think they would trade him there, but the perfect spot for Brandon Ayuk would probably be Detroit.
Yeah.
And, you know,
he'd be great here.
Man,
you know,
great.
That'd be amazing.
See, I don't think he would want to come here because you'd basically just be trading one opportunity where you're like the third or fourth or fifth option for another place where you're the third or fourth or fifth option.
There's a lot of talent here.
Behind Amon-Ra, Laporta, and Gibbs.
Hopefully J-Mo steps up.
J-Mo's got to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's got to stretch the field. That might be the key for us. If we can stretch the field, then we have a lot more space for Laporta and for Amon-Ra and for the running back Gibbs to go out there and make plays, right? If J-Mo's not that guy for us, then we have no third receiver.
Right.
That's legit. And we're not stretching the field. And that was our problem against the 49ers, right? We're always 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and they know we can't go anywhere else. It's got to go right in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
That's
so I'm watching
this.
I'm watching Receiver on Netflix.
Great show.
It is great. And one of the parts about this, and I hope I'm not giving it away, but whatever. So it's the Tampa Bay game, and Amon-Ra goes down, catches a ball for first down. First of all, he's got like an oblique torn off the bone.
Yep.
So he's got two plates in his shoes to protect his toes.
Yep.
So he catches the ball for a first down and goes down immediately. He was already over the sticks. Goes down because there's like 3 Tampa Bay Bucks ready to converge on him. And Antoine Randall is like, what are you doing going down like that? He's like, I'm not taking any unnecessary hits.
Right.
I'm not taking unnecessary hits.
Good for him.
And then he watches the replay of the tablet with J-Mo, and J-Mo's like, oh, no. It was the coolest thing I had seen from J-Mo was like kind of ribbing him a little bit. Man, you can't. So that stuff embraces me to J-Mo, man. I want him to be so good.
Me too.
I feel like
he's
room, right there.
Yeah.
I feel like he's there's only like 2 or 3 guys in the league that can do what he does. Right? He is literally, besides Tyreek Hill, probably the next fastest guy in the NFL, right? If you saw glimpses, right? His 45-yard run, the Tampa Bay game where he came out and made that catch, but it can't be for 1 or 2 catches a game.
Right.
You got to be a receiver, not just a bomb threat, right? And that's where he needs to really develop his game. You're going to get hit. You're going to get lit up once. We got to run a slant once in a while, right? Go across the middle, see what happens. But that keeps them honest. Then you can go. Then you go deep.
Such a great thing you just said too, because I'll even go back to what you said about some of those guys in AA. Right, those guys can throw 100 miles an hour, but they don't got it here.
Yeah,
Jameson Williams can do he can run right by you and catch 100 balls in college, but can he be a receiver in the NFL? There's a big difference between catching passes and being a receiver. Can he make that transition?
Yeah.
It's how the good ones go, right? I mean, you're able to make that transition in college. In AA, you might be better than everybody. You might be better than everybody you face, but if you can't train your mind to be next level.
When the stars are their brightest, we call those guys the 5 o'clock hitters, right? They can drop bombs at 5 p.m. When it comes to the game, you start throwing a little curveball in there.
Yeah.
They can't. They're 0 for 3, 0 for 4, or 4 Ks, right? That's when the lights are the brightest. You got to show up, or that's it for you. You're not gonna ever make it, right?
If you remember last year, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, especially Dan Campbell, really didn't have a lot of good things to say about J-Mo. He'd say, oh, well, you know, we're hoping he's putting in the time and blah, blah. He would always talk like that. But then at the end of last year, he would say he's really coming into his own. And the beginning of this year, he said, this kid has really developed so much over the offseason, and he is going to be big for us this year.
Yeah, it's
you start seeing Dan Campbell start to talk about him in a good way. So I'm hoping he's telling us the truth because he don't have a good poker face. You know what Dan Campbell is saying.
I think Dan Campbell is 100% heart and just talks what makes sense. Like he'll never lie to you about it.
Right.
He will straight up tell you, I suck today. You suck today. You have to have that appreciation for someone that does that. That's the way I am with my business, right? I will tell you, you're the best. You're amazing. You were awful today. I'm sorry, Beth, out there, just you were garbage today. And then you have to have that appreciation. I'm sorry?
Do you tell your sandwich guys that?
Hey, whatever it takes, man. You don't make it the right way. I'm going to let you know about it.
You got a good staff down the block
They
here.
do a nice job,
I always
these guys.
compliment
They do a great job.
Maz goes in there at least once a week.
Once a week. I always ask for you. I'm like, hey, where's Anthony? You're like,
he's lazy. He's Scrooge McDucking into money in the office, right? That's what I'm doing.
That's fantastic. Hey, speaking of somebody that tells somebody that they suck, Davante Adams telling Jimmy G that he sucks.
That hurt.
There's a lot of talk now, and at the American Century Championship, the celebrity golf over the weekend. Yeah. It sounded like Aaron Rodgers was saying that he and Davante Adams are going to play together again.
Yeah, we played that cut last week.
And now all the talk today. Do we have the cuts, guys? Okay, first from Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky saying, absolutely, Davante Adams is going to be a member of the New York Jets. Here it is.
God.
Nope, never mind. Okay, so let me just summarize it.
We have it.
I know, but he says, hold on.
I know. Hold on.
So do you want to sit here? Do you want me to just sit here?
No. I didn't want you to skip over it. That's all.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was telling Maz. Thanks, Maz. Okay.
My bad, man.
We'll just sit here in silence.
We'll go with it, guys. Davante Adams, listen, at some point, you're right. The Jets are going to go all in because they have 1-2 year window with Rodgers there, right? They have another good receiver. They have Breece Hall. They have Garrett Wilson. They're going to go all in and make it happen. And the Raiders are garbage, right? Offensively.
The point, if you have Aaron Rodgers, you have to win the Super Bowl, right? If you don't win the Super Bowl, if you don't get to the Super Bowl, it doesn't mean anything. Why wouldn't you acquire Davante Adams for a first-round pick? If you're the Raiders, you're not going to do anything.
Not a first-round pick.
Absolutely
Not a first-round pick.
You're all in or you're not all in?
Not a first-round pick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What?
Football trades are weird. They are very odd. I don't really understand the value system of the NFL pick or trades, but
a number 2 is a lot. Believe it or not.
If I'm the Raiders, I have to have a number 1.
Exactly. You're paying his salary. The Raiders aren't going to be good or bad compared to what he's going to do for them. So the Jets take him off their hands. I'll give you a 3.
I don't think the salary, his salary is a difference maker for the Raiders. Yeah. They want to get picks back.
Right.
I think that the Jets are willing to go. They have to go all in for Aaron Rodgers and for Salah.
Right.
Salah's not sick. Salah's not sick. They don't win this year. He is gone.
He's not making that pick next year.
He might be one of our D coordinators when he comes back to Dearborn here, right?
He on borrowed time.
Right. Here's Orlovsky earlier this morning.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I think Davante Adams plays for the Jets this season. So the reason why I say that is this: have you watched Netflix, the receiver stuff? Have you seen it? Have you seen the frustration from Davante Adams? It's not that much better of a situation. One, the only reason it wouldn't happen, Greeny, is if he would feel bad about leaving Antonio Pierce, their new head coach. That's the only reason.
Antonio will be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay, but the loyalty of a competitor to a coach. One, the Raiders don't matter until they get a quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. So at some point, you got to try to go get a quarterback. Number 2, if you're the Jets, why would you not cool, it's going to cost you you haven't won a Super Bowl ever, or in like 50-something years or something like that.
Yeah,
You've already
1969.
gone all in. You have to make this work. If you don't win the Super Bowl, this is going to be one of the more disappointing acquisitions and runs and wasted talented teams that we've seen in the NFL in many years. I think this is a done deal at some point.
I think it's a done deal. That's Dan Orlovsky earlier this morning on ESPN. I think it's a done deal. Why wouldn't you do this? Saleh, Rodgers, you're going all in, and the Raiders, you have nothing. You don't have a quarterback. You've got this.
Running back.
You don't have a running back. You play in a division with you are not only last in your division, you are last by a mile in your division. Yeah. Kansas City, the Chargers now.
They're on the ups.
Sean Payton with Denver.
Yep.
The Antonio Pierce dynamic, fine, whatever. But
at that point, they might as well trade us Max and call
please.
it a day.
Bring them home.
Right?
Eastern Michigan, baby.
Bring them home.
Michigan Eagle, baby.
Oh, my God.
Bring that man
Give us
home.
Max. We'll give up a first. We'll call it a day.
Wow.
And we'll give up a
Wouldn't that be
multiples,
something?
That'd be amazing.
I mean, if they trade Devontae, that's a possibility. That means it's over for them.
Right.
They know they got to rebuild everything. Why am I going to pay Max $100 million if I'm getting rid of Devontae Adams and I have?
He would want to come play
and
here.
they got Maz playing quarterback, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Right. He'd want to come play here.
100%.
Yeah.
When he had his name, named the field,
Yep.
the ceremony. I know he would play for the Lions in 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
The factory.
He's a Dan Campbell kind of guy.
Oh my God!
He's a
to
Dan
the
Campbell,
highest degree.
Exactly.
To the highest.
Please
degree.
don't tease us.
Hey, I just tell how it is. That's why they pay me big bucks.
But
here.
here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers, man, and I pray. I'm a Jet guy. I pray that he could stay unscathed for the year.
He's not.
But he's damaged goods, man.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to be going to try to tackle the back of his legs? I'm just afraid of what's going to happen.
Can't play
with
scared.
Aaron. I know you can't play scared, but then there's no backup plan.
It's
no.
It's over.
I mean,
sure.
And then you're shipping all those number ones out for Devontae Adams. He might as well be back with the Raiders.
But you're paying Aaron Rodgers $43 million to do what? Throw screen passes to Garrett Wilson?
Right.
Right? I mean, you got to put someone else there, someone that he wants, that he trusts, that knows he's going to catch every ball that's thrown to him. And if he gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Dude, that's 100% correct.
Right?
That's not even 90%
like
correct.
Woody
That's
Johnson
100%
he's not here to play. He doesn't care about money. That's not his thing. He needs a championship. He needs a city to come out and win a game, right? Go get Devontae Adams. Go get somebody, but Devontae makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
I mentioned camp start today. One quarterback not there, we believe, Caleb Williams. J.J. McCarthy might not show up at Minnesota camp. We'll do that next as well. But first, a message from
Boys and Girls.
Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan. Oh, I love it when Pete's in there. Makes me feel so good.
That's right, Boys and Girls Club. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from. In Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field. Just $175 to $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with Boys and Girls Club 3C Sports. We'll be right back after a short message.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on our expert sports insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday at Big D Energy. He joins us every Thursday. Trust a guide at DMAC and Braylon Trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce, he's here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944 for Dr. Pierce.
And listen, y'all, I know y'all need some new sports merch. You still rocking that 2012 ALCS championship shirt. It's over, man. Go to WoodwardSports.com today and get you some nice, only if you go to WoodwardSports.com and click the shop tab.
Hey, gang, welcome back. Final segment of the show. Ermanni and Edwards. Braylon back tomorrow. We've got Anthony Tomey in the house with us having some fun. We told Anthony, look out, because he's doing so well today. We're going to have him back. I mean, this is maybe our
You messed up now, man.
My new go-to fill-in guy.
Bring it, baby. Bring it. I'll talk. I'll do this all day long.
I'm calling you, man.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, Anson.
Nah, I can't do that to Anson.
Anson can replace me. I'll do shows with Tomey all day. Two quarterback pieces of news. First round picks. Now, these picks are supposed to be slotted, but two quarterbacks are not signed, and that is Caleb Williams, who is not in camp today. Now, Rome Odunze did sign today.
Okay.
There's 5 first round picks that were not signed. The Bears had 2 of them. The other is J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
He wants his signing bonus money up front, rightfully so, but he says he may not report to training camp unless he gets the full amount.
That surprises me.
Front.
So hold up.
That surprises me.
It surprises
coming
me.
from a guy like JJ.
It surprises me too, but that's the business end of it, right? What about Caleb Williams? Same thing for him. He is not at camp today, and they start today.
Yep.
Oh, he's not signing until JJ signs. That's just the way it's going to work. JJ should be there. He probably wants to be there. It's his agent holding the whole deal up, telling him, I can get you X, Y, and Z, when they're pretty much this is how much is you have this much money. You're not going to even start right away, dude. Just relax, get it done. Williams is waiting for him to sign. I'm sure he has some extra incentives, but he's busy painting fingernails or something.
Caleb's doing his own deal. He does not have an agent.
He doesn't even have an agent?
No.
That's smart play.
He's doing his own deal.
Yeah.
That's a problem too. I mean, we saw it with Lamar Jackson a while back, and those things rarely work.
It almost cost him.
Yeah,
It almost cost Lamar Jackson.
Those things rarely work when you try to do your deal by yourself. There's
a reason everyone has an agent.
Yes.
Everyone pays their agent, because it's not just about negotiating. It's about all the paperwork, all the little things in between, all the connections that your agent has with the GM that they have to go against. You can't go badmouth your GM or your owner and then have them pay you. Right? There's a reason
but
why
your agent can.
Your agent is supposed to. That's his job. That's why you give him 4 or 5% or whatever they give him.
But again, that's a great point too, because it's not 10% anymore.
No, it's
not.
not.
It's not 10% anymore.
No.
It's not 7% anymore. It might not even be 4 or 5% anymore. It might even be less than that when you're talking, $150 million deals or whatever the case may be.
1% would be. I'm in on 1%.
Exactly. So I do think this is, and we'll see what happens. I don't think it's good for Caleb Williams to get behind the 8 ball today. Now, if JJ is not in camp when Minnesota starts, I will say the same thing about him that I'll say I think it's not good for the player, especially a rookie quarterback, to come in late. I just don't think that's good.
Especially with the word on the street that Sam Darnold's going to be the starter.
Yeah.
And JJ might not even be the backup in Minnesota. I mean, that's what they're saying. So I don't know what's happening.
He'll probably be the backup, but at the same time, it doesn't look good to your teammates, right?
Yeah.
Everyone understands that it's part of the game. This is a business. You got to get paid. You got to get your bag, right? But at the end of the day, you're a rookie. You come in. You know what you're going to make. There's not much of a huge difference of what he's going after. But it doesn't look good to those veteran guys. You want to impress, like, I'm all in, guys. I'm here to win. I'm going to get this job in week 7 after their bye week. They play the Lions. He'll be the starter. Let's be honest, right? Let's go.
Not only that, but darn it, I just forgot what I was going to say.
Was it about the Browns kicker getting money?
No, it was along the lines of J.J. McCarthy. Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Randy Moss here yesterday.
Yeah, real quick, Caleb Williams did sign his deal.
Did he just sign?
Signing a 4-year fully guaranteed contract worth $39 million. That includes $25.5 million in signing bonus and a 5th-year team option.
All right, that must have just happened.
Like 10 minutes ago.
That must have just happened. All right, thank you for that. So JJ will get done after that.
So the Bears are all set.
Right. So. But going back to JJ for a minute, Randy Moss in town yesterday was with us at DGC for the
Calvin Johnson.
He said that JJ McCarthy, don't play with all this backup stuff. Don't play with all this Sam Darnold stuff. He must be out there. He must be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. That's what he said yesterday. So I think it's great, and I think Minnesota is handling that situation really well. I think Sam Darnold, let him play this year.
Yep.
Let him go about it. Because I think JJ could have used another year at Michigan, by the way.
It wouldn't have hurt him.
No, I think JJ should be the backup, but Randy Moss says throw the rookie out there.
Well, listen, they're good. Minnesota they got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, you got quality, you got Aaron Jones there now.
Yeah.
They have weapons. They need someone to throw the ball. I don't know if JJ's that guy right now. I don't know if he's going to go out there and sling it 40 times, right? He's
TJ Hawkinson, too?
Yeah, I mean, they got Hawk. That's right. They have Hawkinson. So, I mean, they have great weapons. They need someone to make sure they can get it out there. And not that Darnold's the guy, but at least he's been in the league for 5+ years. And he can sling it. He was a number 3 pick overall, right? He can sling it. So, let's see what he can do.
Maz, what do you
I got nothing on the Vikings. I like the Vikings. I like my division. I like our division. Matter of fact, I want to show you guys something. Pro Football Focus put out something that they said, we're going to build the best NFC North roster. So I want to put that up for you. You can look at it at the TV as well there, Anthony. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead. Let's go over that position by position.
I can't see that.
Pro Football Focus putting out their best NFC North offense. Who do they got there at quarterback?
They got Jordan Love. I see it. Okay. Quarterback Jordan Love.
Go ahead.
The Lions running backs, the Lions offensive line, the Lions defensive line, the Bears wide receiver.
Wow.
Receivers, Bears linebackers, and the Green Bay Packers secondary. So the Lions have 3 of the 6 units on that list.
I don't hate that list.
No.
I don't hate that.
Would you take Jordan right now? You're the Lions. I'm giving you the choice. You could start Jordan Love or you could start Jared Goff. Who do you want, Anthony Tomey?
I would take Love all day. Love showed it.
Right now.
I would take Love. Not because I don't like Goff. I just think that Love can sling it. He can get out there. He had 3 nobody rookie second-year receivers and made them and made plays, man. Right? Goff is great. I like him. He knows what he's doing. He gets it done. He but I think it's also part of the whole Ben Johnson offense, right? And we have great running backs, right? Where they had, Dillon didn't do great last year. Jones was hurt a lot.
Dillon's done.
Dillon's done, right?
Yeah.
But you put it in there. Look at the Bears receivers. You got Keenan Allen, you got DJ Moore, and you got Rome, right? And Zuke, right?
Yep.
And then you have Cole Kmet at tight end. That is legit. That is legit. I don't see that's. We have 3 as well, but we don't have 3 receivers and a tight end, right?
Right.
So is it a coin toss? Yes, but I don't hate that list.
If
I gave you the same choice, who you take?
It's a great question because I think most Lions fans would say Goff.
Right.
I think most NFL fans, looking at it objectively, would probably say Love. what he did in the second half of the season last year, you feel like you can project that this dude is on this trajectory to go to the top of the league.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and for all the talk about how good the Lions are, what about the Green Bay Packers? Everybody's talking about the Green Bay Packers as one of the top 2, 3, 4 teams in the NFC because of Jordan Love.
Right.
If Jordan Love had the benefit of the offensive line and the running backs and the wide receivers that the Lions had, what would he be able to do in this offense? So it's a great question. And again,
So make your pick.
I would say Love. I would say Love.
Right now.
It's one of those things, guys. Green Bay is known for drafting. Everyone always rips their drafts. They're garbage. Like they're on
Favre,
paper, they're not
Rodgers,
great.
Love.
But they develop these guys. They picked. Everyone was so mad a couple of years ago. They're guaranteed to go take a receiver for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't touch one for the third round. Who was their third round pick? Christian Watson, right? Like they developed their guys. Jalen Reed, right? Nice. We all know him because the Michigan State guy. No, not one person in the country knew who that guy was until all of a sudden the guy's making 8 receptions a game, right? He was a great fantasy pickup for a lot of people. Jordan Love won me my fantasy league because he just killed it the last 4 touchdowns a game, 300 yards every single game, right? It's not about the sexy pick, guys. It's about knowing football, and those guys know football, and they just make it happen.
They do, man. That's a tough call, man. I mean, I think Jordan Love in the long run, obviously, I think will be the better quarterback. But right now, for this Lions offense, the way it's set up, I think Jared Goff is the guy.
Perfect match for the Lions. But again, sometimes it's not about the heart. It's about the brain, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta go with what you see and not what you want to see, right?
Green Bay is tough, man. That's a hell of a division. Second only to the AFC North.
Sure.
It's going to be fun. And we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. Anthony Tomey, we cannot thank you enough for being here, my friend.
Thank you guys for having me. This is a dream for me. This is awesome.
I will tell you, you giving Maz your number, he will call you to be a fill-in host.
Seriously.
I will.
Seriously. He's not joking.
I'll gladly do it. Guys.
Let's tell everyone why he was here again today.
Absolutely. He's here, part of Game Above, the ownership group. Anthony's part of Game Above, which is the ownership group of the new Big Three, Ice Cube's 3-on-3 basketball league. There's going to be a team home, a team stationed here. The home team is Detroit. Yeah. Detroit, Houston, LA, and Miami. One of 4 teams in the 3-on-3 Big Three.
We still got to name it, so they're going to be putting it all out there.
Can't wait for the name.
We're going to have a chance to chip in and maybe name this baby.
Yeah,
that's right.
Can't wait.
KG, love you, buddy. Thanks, man.
No problem.
James, Joel in the back, Pete Spivak, Anthony Tomey. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Subscribe. Like the show. We will see ya tomorrow.